What's up, good people? Good morning, good afternoon, good whatever time that you've clicked this video and you are watching it. It's your girl Yvette Create. And today's episode will be talking about Raila Odinga and his chances of winning the AU seat. Raila Odinga has declared that he is going to run for African Union Chairman, African Union Commission chairmanship. That will be, the election will be held next year, February 2024. So Kenya's President Ruto, I know you're shocked like I was, but President Ruto has endorsed his bid, and on 27th August, other East African leaders came together at State House Nairobi to endorse Raila's bid. So present, by the way, EAC is East Africa Commission, and East Africa Commission comprises 8 countries: 1 Kenya, 2 Tanzania, 3 Uganda, 4 DRC, 5 Rwanda, 6 Burundi, 7 Djibouti, 8 South Sudan. So the present leaders on that day, on 27th August, those who were present to endorse Raila's bid was Samia Suluhu, who is the current president of Tanzania, and Yoweri Museveni, who is the current president of Uganda. South Sudan's Salva Kiir was also present. Former president for Tanzania, Jakaya Kikwete, was present. The general from Nigeria, and who was also a former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, was also present. And Rwanda was represented by President Kagame. Couldn't come, so he sent somebody. He was represented by Olivia, this name is hard to say, but Olivia Ndugurenye. Yeah, so these leaders came together to say that they are supporting Raila, and they would like Raila to represent Africa, because Raila is a Pan-Africanist. Raila has all the qualities that is required. So they came together to say that we endorse him, we are behind him, and we want him to win. So on that day, many things were being done on that day, because Raila's website was launched on that day. So on the website contains who Raila is, his achievements, his international relations, the things that he's done for Africa, the things that he's done in Kenya, and it's just like a CV of Raila. Their website is called Candidate of the Republic of Kenya for Chairperson of the African Union. So Kenyan government and Raila's secretariat have merged together to campaign for Raila. The budget for that has not been disclosed, by the way, and this is not the first time that Kenya is going for such a position. The last time that Kenya was in the race was 2017, and that time Kenya fronted Amina Mohamed, who was at that time the Minister for Foreign Affairs. Yeah, so Amina Mohamed was defeated, and the current president we know for AU is Musa Faki from Chad. So he's the one who got the seat, and Amina Mohamed didn't get the seat. But do you know Kenya spent money to campaign? So whatever was spent on that campaign was 437.7 million, and the set budget for that was around 300 and something. So Kenya exceeded its budget by 52M. I hope you understood me. I know I'm mumbling a lot, but I know you understood what I said. Like, Kenya had a budget, but they surpassed the budget by 52 million to campaign for that, and they didn't get the seat. So currently the budget for that will be used for Raila's campaign has not been disclosed, but the president is surely on it, and the president is campaigning for Raila. The president himself said that Raila deserves the seat because Raila is a Pan-Africanist, so Raila would know the problems that Africa is facing. And what Raila himself said on that day, because you can't let people campaign for you and you won't be campaigning for yourself, Raila said that he's a Pan-Africanist, is the right fit for Africa right now, because he understands the problems that are in Africa, and is in a position given that position, he will be able to solve the problems that are facing Africa. And he even said that the major problem Africa has, apart from like the normal social and economic problems, is the barriers that are there, the borders that are there. So he said once he gets the seat, he'll ensure that the borders are not there, so that Africans and African countries can intertrade in a better way, and that way economies in Africa will grow. Yeah, so you know, when somebody is contesting from a country, it's natural that the citizens of that country would support that person. But it's so different here in Kenya, because whatever is there, whatever people are saying is so different. Whatever is there on the social media, whatever is there on the ground is something that is very different, because people are feeling that it shouldn't. In fact, I'll pin various tweets from people who are saying that they're endorsing Djibouti's Djibouti's minister for foreign affairs to win, because I don't know, the feud that people have with the feud that people have with Mr. Raila Odinga. Mr. Raila Odinga has been for the longest time commanding a fan base in Kenya that is wide, and every time he's vied for presidency 5 times and he's lost the 5 times, but each and every time his supporters said that he won, and they've been on the streets fighting for him. So he's somebody who is really loved in Kenya. But why would people not support him when he's decided to go for an international seat, if they've been voting for him for the local seat, the presidency? So why would people change tune now? So it all begins when the Gen Z, there are protests in Kenya. We know that there are protests in Kenya, and Mr. Raila was told by that generation to sit back and not interfere with the maandamanos.
Miss you, but Agwambo, please don't even come outside.
Normally when there are protests, it is usually Raila who calls for them, but this was a different protest because it came from the youth and nobody mobilized them. But the problems that people, especially youth, are facing in Kenya, so they came by themselves to hold the protest, and they told Mr. Raila, please stay back, don't interfere with our protest. So Raila stayed back until the protest got to a place that people were dying, and the president wanted a dialogue with the youth, because the youth refused to retreat from the streets. But the youth said, no, we are not having any dialogue with you, we're not talking with you. And then Mr. Raila came in to say, no, we should listen to the president, we should give the president a chance, we should talk, because, you know, people are losing lives and what. But the youth insisted that no, the president knows what we want, there's no need for dialogue, there's no need for any talks, because he knows. But no, Raila went to talk with the president in something they called NADCO. NADCO is National Dialogue something. I'll pin it here. So yeah, so when Raila went to engage the president, the youth were quite angry with him because they were saying lives have been lost. How could you do this to us? We didn't want to talk with the president, because, you know, when the youths protested in Kenya, the president had to reshuffle his cabinet, because those were some of the demands that they had. The president had to change some of the things in the government, and youths were insisting that he should resign. They were saying Ruto must go, but so you see, the president, the president looked for a different approach to rescue his, should I say, rescue his presidency, because he was on the brink of resigning, because people had insisted that he should resign. So youths are viewing it like Raila came to the rescue of the president, because after the dialogues, it didn't take some time before Mr. Ruto announced his new cabinet. I said that he had fired his cabinet, and in his new cabinet, Mr. Raila's people were there. So people were like, how are your people here? Why did your people go there? So you went to negotiate for your stomach, you went to negotiate for your people, you went to negotiate for positions for your people. You didn't go to fight for us, the youths, who have been on the streets, and we have lost lives. So the youths felt betrayed. They felt like the Mr. Raila is riding on the blood of the victims that were died from the protests. And What now is making people angry is because people are in the opposition and they're supposed to be overseeing what the government does, but it's now like he's in government and he cannot oversee and he can't now go against the government. He can't stand against the government, which is supposed to be his role as the opposition leader. But it seems like now it's now a government, because whatever when Ruto was naming the cabinet, he now said he called it a broad-based government. So these are the things that are really making the youths angry, and the youths have said that we are rallying behind Djibouti's foreign affairs minister. And by the way, this guy is also said to stand a very good chance to win against Raila, because Djibouti is an Islamic country, and there are Islam countries who are there in the Africa Union Assembly and will be voting, and also French speaking countries. So you see, all these factors considered, the Djibouti candidate could win against Raila. Anyway, many politicians have come to rally behind Raila and support Raila, and they've said they are fully behind Raila. Mudavadi said to support one of our own, as we usually support the athletes. Gachagua said that he is supporting Raila. Ruto said he supports Raila. So each and every person in the opposition and in government are supporting Raila, except the youth. And you know, it doesn't count much, because the youth won't be voting. It's the people in the African Union Assembly that will be voting. Comment below, what do you think about Raila's situation? Do you think he will win? Does he stand a chance of winning? Thank you so much for watching till this point. Bye bye.